Yo, y'all thought you knew why Marjorie Harvey and Michael B. Jordan split? Well, think again. Marjorie Harvey is finally speaking out, and trust me, the tea she's spilling is hotter than ever. People were claiming that Lori ended it because she didn't want to settle down with Michael, but that's only part of the story. The truth? Michael was the problem the whole time. From the jump, Michael and his team started a PR campaign painting Lori as the one who was using him, but Marjorie says nope, that narrative is backwards. Lori usually moves on quietly, but with Michael, things got messy. The family even started dropping subtle shades online, hinting that Michael might have been hiding things. And Lori? She did something she never does, she threw shade back. Rumors started flying about cheating, secrets with exes, and even ties to Diddy's wild past drama. Michael allegedly kept her in the dark about threats and past entanglements, which, let's be real, would freak anyone out. Marjorie, Steve, and Lori's actions showed that this breakup wasn't just a normal split, it was a full-blown wake-up call. Publicly, they're signaling that Michael crossed lines, kept secrets, and maybe even disrespected the family. And while the world speculates, Marjorie is setting the record straight. Lori wasn't the problem. The tea? Michael B. Jordan might have been hiding more than anyone realized, and it cost him the relationship. Stay tuned, because what you think you know about this breakup is about to get flipped upside down. The truth is wild, messy, and Marjorie is not holding back. After the shocking hook, let's dive into the full story. Marjorie Harvey and Michael B. Jordan's relationship has been the talk of the town for a minute, but the real reasons behind their breakup have always been shrouded in mystery. For months, rumors swirled online. People claimed that Lori called it off because she didn't want to settle down, or that Michael simply moved on faster than expected. But now Marjorie Harvey, Lori's mother, is stepping up to set the record straight, and the details she's spilling might shock you. When Lori and Michael first started dating in January 2021, everything seemed perfect on the surface. Social media posts, red carpet appearances, and the occasional family outing painted the picture of a young couple in love. But by June 2022, less than a year and a half later, the relationship had ended. Initially, the public narrative was that Lori had moved on from Michael faster than he expected. But Marjorie says the truth was far messier. According to Marjorie, the real problem all along wasn't Lori, it was Michael. While some parts of their breakup did involve questions about settling down, there were deeper issues at play. Rumors began circulating that Michael had been hiding things from Lori, including past relationships and entanglements with other high-profile women. The fact that Lori didn't immediately publicly address these claims left room for speculation, which only fueled the gossip mill. The Harvey family, however, wasn't staying silent. Steve Harvey, Lori's father, began dropping cryptic messages online, sending subtle signals to followers about the breakup. One post read, "Love yourself, my G," while another stated, "Sometimes we need to thank God for what didn't happen." These posts, though vague, hinted at dissatisfaction with Michael and suggested that the breakup might have been necessary for Lori's growth. The family's involvement was a clear indication. They were protecting Lori and making sure the public narrative didn't paint her as the villain. It wasn't just Steve. Marjorie herself got involved, sharing a clip of actress Jennifer Lewis saying, "If you sit in for too long, it stops smelling, so come the out of there." While subtle, this post was interpreted by many as a direct shot at Michael. People began speculating that something serious had happened behind the scenes and that Michael may have acted in ways that were disrespectful or hurtful to Lori. The fact that Marjorie, who usually avoids publicly shading Lori's exes, chose to post this message indicated that Michael's behavior crossed a line. Adding fuel to the fire, Lori herself, who rarely publicly criticizes ex-partners, posted a subtle shade about Michael. A license plate photo on her Instagram stories simply read, "Dump him." It was unusual for Lori to act this way, as she typically moves on quietly and doesn't air grievances online. This moment alone suggested that Michael's actions had been significant enough to prompt both Marjorie and Lori to break their usual rules of discretion. From what sources suggest, Michael may have been keeping Lori in the dark about certain things in his past, including his previous relationship with Cassie. In 2015, Cassie was in a relationship with Diddy, and during a break in that relationship, she reportedly had involvement with Michael. Diddy apparently was not happy when he found out and allegedly threatened Michael, which must have created a stressful and tense situation. But Michael didn't disclose these details to Lori at the time, leaving her unaware of the drama that could have impacted their relationship. Marjorie's perspective is crucial here. She points out that one of the biggest red flags in relationships is someone being too close to their exes. Michael's history and closeness to previous partners, combined with hiding incidents involving celebrities like Diddy, created an environment where trust could easily be broken. Lori, being a young woman in the public eye, had to navigate not only personal feelings but also public scrutiny. Her family felt compelled to step in and provide clarity and support, which is why both Steve and Marjorie were actively posting cryptic messages and showing their side of the story. To the public, the narrative shifted. While Michael's team initially tried to control the story, portraying Lori as someone using Michael, the Harveys worked hard to flip the narrative. They emphasized that Lori was not the problem and that Michael's actions had contributed significantly to the relationship's breakdown. Fans and followers quickly picked up on these signals, creating widespread speculation online about what Michael allegedly did. The story gets even more complicated. Lori hinted during an interview with Tiana Taylor that Michael may have cheated with a white ex-girlfriend, Alan Castro, while still dating her. This revelation sparked a storm of online debate and put Michael's name in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. The public was left questioning his loyalty and the authenticity of his relationship with Lori. Marjorie and Steve's actions reinforced this narrative, signaling to the public that Michael's behavior had been unacceptable and that Lori's decisions were justified. Even more, the timing of all this aligns with Michael being mentioned in the Diddy trial alongside other celebrities. The connection between Michael and Cassie, combined with Lori finding out after the breakup, made it even more dramatic. Imagine dating someone for over a year, only to discover after splitting that they were entangled in a web of celebrity drama and possible cheating. The situation paints a picture of tension, secrecy, and betrayal, all factors that likely contributed to the end of their relationship. By the time Lori and Michael officially split, the narrative had evolved from a simple breakup to a complex saga involving secrecy, alleged infidelity, and family intervention. The Harveys' willingness to step in publicly was unusual, but necessary to protect their daughter's reputation. Marjorie's posts and comments, combined with Lori's subtle online shading, highlighted that Michael's behavior was a serious issue and that Lori's choices were justified. What makes this story even more intense is how it exposes the pressures of dating in the public eye. Lori Harvey is not just dating anyone, she's navigating relationships while being constantly watched, judged, and analyzed. Any misstep, real or perceived, becomes fodder for public discussion. In this context, Michael's alleged behavior, combined with keeping Lori in the dark about past incidents, amplified the scrutiny and made the breakup not just a personal issue, but a very public one. This saga shows that while the breakup may have appeared simple from the outside, the reality was far more complicated. Marjorie Harvey is clear: Michael B. Jordan was not an innocent party in this story. His alleged actions, including hiding significant details, creating unnecessary drama, and possibly being unfaithful, contributed to the relationship's demise. Meanwhile, Lori and her family took control of the narrative to protect her reputation and ensure that the truth, or at least their side of it, was told. As we continue, the situation between Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan starts to show just how tangled and public this breakup really was. After Marjorie and Steve's subtle social media posts, fans began piecing together what might have gone wrong. The public was starting to understand that Michael wasn't just the guy who broke up with Lori, he was allegedly the source of major trust issues that put their relationship in jeopardy. One major point of discussion was Michael's handling of his past relationships. Sources reveal that Lori discovered some of the more serious issues only after their breakup. This included incidents with Cassie, as well as previous drama involving high-profile figures like Diddy. According to insiders, Michael never disclosed these events while dating Lori, which meant she was blindsided by information she arguably had the right to know. The fact that these details involved threats, drama, and possible confrontations added layers of complexity and stress to a young relationship that was already under the microscope of social media. Lori's reaction, while subtle, was telling. Instead of ignoring the situation, she began to leave hints online that something wasn't right. The license plate post that read "dump him" was more than just a passing thought. It was an indication of frustration and disapproval. This, coupled with Marjorie's video repost, signaled that the family was aligned in addressing Michael's behavior. Unlike previous exes of Lori, Michael's actions were being publicly scrutinized, which suggested that this situation crossed boundaries the family couldn't ignore. The public narrative became even messier when Lori hinted that Michael may have been hiding a preference for his exes, specifically white women, while dating her. During an interview with Tiana Taylor, Lori dropped subtle clues about Michael's alleged infidelity with Alan Castro. Fans took notice, sparking heated debates online about Michael's intentions and loyalty. Was Lori being used to cover up his past relationships? Or was Michael's alleged behavior more about secrecy and control? Either way, it painted a picture of a man not fully transparent with his partner. This revelation, coupled with the Diddy trial connection, added more fuel to the fire. Michael's name surfaced alongside Kid Cudi, Lauren London, and others, a moment that reminded the public of his past entanglements. While some initially assumed it was due to old tapes or industry drama, it later came out that it was tied to his romantic history, specifically with Cassie during her break from Diddy. According to reports, Diddy called Michael, threatening him over the situation. This meant Michael was living in a high-stress scenario, which he never fully disclosed to Lori. Discovering this after the breakup only amplified the public scrutiny and speculation about his character. Lori, being a young woman in the spotlight, had to navigate all this while maintaining her image. It wasn't just about her personal feelings. Every social media post, every subtle hint, and every public comment could be analyzed and dissected. Her family's intervention via social media was a calculated effort to guide the narrative and protect her. This level of involvement from Marjorie and Steve Harvey is rare, especially when compared to past exes of Lori, highlighting how serious they felt Michael's behavior was. Another point worth noting is how quickly the public latched onto these stories. Fans speculated nonstop, drawing lines between Marjorie's cryptic posts and Lori's subtle hints. They questioned why Lori didn't respond directly, why Michael remained quiet, and why the family seemed to be orchestrating the narrative. All of these factors combined to create a storm of online discussion that made it nearly impossible for anyone involved to stay private. At the same time, Lori had her own approach. Unlike other relationships, she didn't immediately issue a public statement condemning Michael. Instead, she chose a more indirect method, hinting at the truth without fully exposing details. This tactic kept her in control of her personal image while letting the audience piece together the story on their own. Fans quickly noticed, and the speculation became louder. Michael allegedly cheated, hid his past, and misled Lori in ways that were unacceptable to both her and her family. Marjorie's role in all of this cannot be understated. She has been a protective mother throughout, and this situation tested her patience. Known for her sharp wit and occasional shade, Marjorie doesn't typically air grievances publicly. That she chose to subtly throw shade at Michael indicated that the family believed Lori had been wronged in a serious way. From reposting Jennifer Lewis' quote to hinting at Michael's alleged flaws, Marjorie's actions were both strategic and telling, signaling to the public that Michael's conduct warranted scrutiny. Meanwhile, Steve Harvey's cryptic messages reinforced the narrative. By posting statements like, "Sometimes we need to thank God for what didn't happen," Steve highlighted that the breakup may have been a blessing in disguise. The combination of Marjorie and Steve's subtle public commentary created a narrative in which Michael was clearly the party at fault, at least in the eyes of the family. From the public's perspective, Michael's silence also raised questions. While Lori and her family were dropping hints, Michael didn't respond immediately, creating further suspicion. Social media users speculated about his motives, his feelings, and his behavior during the relationship. Some argued that his silence was a tactic, while others suggested it was fear of public backlash. Either way, this lack of response only magnified the drama surrounding the breakup. It's also important to consider the broader context of dating in the public eye. Lori Harvey's relationships are never private, every move is analyzed, every photo scrutinized. Dating a high-profile actor like Michael B. Jordan adds layers of complexity. The public doesn't just focus on the couple's happiness, they dissect every detail for signs of scandal, infidelity, or deception. This constant scrutiny puts incredible pressure on young celebrities, especially women like Lori, who must navigate both personal and public expectations. And that's where the Harvey family's involvement becomes even more critical. By actively managing the narrative and dropping subtle hints, they not only protected Lori's reputation, but also signaled to fans that Michael's alleged actions were serious. The combined efforts of Lori, Marjorie, and Steve created a controlled narrative that highlighted Michael's mistakes while maintaining Lori's dignity. As the story unfolds, it becomes clear that this breakup wasn't just about a failed relationship. It's about transparency, trust, and accountability. Michael's alleged behavior, from hiding past entanglements to potentially cheating, created an environment where Lori couldn't fully trust him. The involvement of her parents underscores the seriousness of the situation and shows just how much the public eye influences celebrity relationships. This saga demonstrates that the Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan breakup is far more than a simple split. It's a complex story of secrecy, alleged betrayal, and public scrutiny. Lori's family played a crucial role in protecting her image, while subtle hints from both Lori and Marjorie provided the public with enough evidence to question Michael's actions. The narrative continues to evolve, but one thing is clear: this breakup will be remembered not just for the split itself, but for the way the Harveys managed the aftermath, showing fans how protective, strategic, and vocal they can be when it comes to their daughter's happiness. It was clear that Lori Harvey's breakup with Michael B. Jordan wasn't just another celebrity split, it became a full-blown public spectacle. Fans, influencers, and even other celebrities weighed in on social media, dissecting every post, every hint, and every subtle comment from the Harveys. What made this breakup different was the level of family involvement. Marjorie and Steve weren't just passive observers. They actively shaped the narrative to protect Lori and expose alleged misbehavior. Lori's own approach to the situation was strategic. Instead of going on the offensive with direct accusations, she chose subtle gestures, like the "dump him" license plate post, to send signals to her audience and the public. These moves indicated both frustration and disappointment, showing that Michael allegedly breached trust in ways that warranted caution. Fans noticed, and discussions exploded online. People debated whether Michael's silence was calculated or simply ignorance. Meanwhile, Lori's hints suggested she had been blindsided by things she only learned after the breakup, details involving past romantic entanglements and high-profile drama with Cassie and even Diddy. Marjorie's intervention amplified the scrutiny. Known for her sharp wit and occasional shade, she normally avoids publicly criticizing her daughter's exes. But reposting Jennifer Lewis' quote and dropping subtle commentary sent a clear signal: Michael's actions crossed a line. When combined with Steve Harvey's cryptic messages on Instagram, it became evident that the family believed Michael was the problem, not Lori. Fans also speculated about the broader implications of the breakup. Michael's alleged cheating, secrecy about past relationships, and the pressure of dating a public figure like Lori painted a picture of a relationship doomed by miscommunication and hidden truths. Social media users debated endlessly: was Michael deliberately deceptive, or was he simply unprepared for the scrutiny that comes with dating someone like Lori Harvey? Either way, the general consensus leaned toward Michael being at fault. By the end of it all, this story became more than just a celebrity breakup. It was a lesson in accountability, family loyalty, and public perception. Lori and her family orchestrated a narrative that kept her dignity intact while revealing enough to make the public question Michael's choices. This wasn't just drama for the sake of views, it was about protecting a young woman in the spotlight and holding someone accountable for allegedly crossing boundaries. Ultimately, the Lori Harvey, Michael B. Jordan saga shows that in the world of high-profile relationships, the stakes are higher than most realize. Every move is scrutinized, every post dissected, and every hint analyzed. And in this case, it became clear who the family felt was truly at fault. As for Lori, she came out of it with her reputation intact, her family fully behind her, and the public on her side. The takeaway? Celebrity breakups aren't just personal. They're public, strategic, and sometimes a little messy. And when a family like the Harveys gets involved, you better believe the story is going to be unforgettable.